and welcome back here to Court 4 at Sewanee Sports Academy. Marcus Burnett joined by Chris Watkins as it's yet another EBA All-American event upon us. Chris, how's it feel to be here, man? It's been a great day of basketball. Been looking forward to the EBA festivities we have starting here now.
Yeah, it's definitely a great setup we have here with EBA All-American Camp. Have a number of players that have come in from all over the country, some that are playing in our PSB End of the Road tournament, and some just came in to get another chance to play in front of a baseline of college coaches. We're actually fortunate enough to be joined by Brandon Clay, who stepped over here to the booth. You know, you'll see him both coaching on the sidelines and doing everything here at EBA All-American Camp.
This is awesome. I mean, when you look at the kids in the class of 2017 to 19 on the floor right now, and you've got Southern California and Duke, Georgia Tech, Florida Atlantic, Texas A&M. How often do kids, NC State as well, how often do kids at this age get the opportunity to play in front of these schools and just have this experience? One of the things that we're working on, you'll see in the first half, we actually took away transition baskets here today in the first half. So everything's going to have to come from the half court. One of the things I told them I noticed during the End of the Road is so much of the game is played in a half court manner. That's a great kick there from Desiree Caldwell to Casey Collier there. 2018 to 2019 on the connection for the three, and we talk about just that. Who can drive, who can pitch, who can create shots for others, and in the same space give themselves an opportunity to be really good.
Yeah, definitely. And you talk about the opportunity to play in front of these coaches. I personally, we brought back the All-American Camp after taking a year off, and doing it during this open period is such a unique experience for all of these players.
Well, it gives them an opportunity like we talked about, not only to showcase their game in front of colleges, but especially for these younger players to get the opportunity to get their feet wet in this type of setting where there are college coaches watching. Some of them have been fortunate enough to play in front of some schools at some of our events. Some of them haven't, so we definitely want to allow all of them the opportunity to do that here.
We did, with this being that younger age group, whether it's Mary Triplett, we have Caldwell up here. We haven't even mentioned yet Daly Sullivan.
We've got some veterans, man. Ashley Williamson wearing 119. Elena Thomas here, number 37. So a lot of kids that are very familiar with the camp circuit. And that's one of the things that we wanted to do with this event. You know, we didn't want to go around and just grab a bunch of kids, you know, to come in and play. We wanted kids that were very familiar with the camp setting, how we run things, how we do things, and what we're accustomed to doing, and let them really showcase the work that we've done all year. Christiana Carr, I want to make sure I mention her, actually out with a sprained foot, but made the trip from Minnesota to come and be a part of that today. One of the better kids that I've seen personally in the class of 2018. Chris Carr, her father, actually coaches that team and played in the NBA for some years.
Yeah, got a chance to actually watch her earlier in the weekend in the PSB End of the Road, and, you know, she definitely showed some really good things.
And you see the defense right now, and once again, we talk about that, being able to score it in the half court, and you're seeing the low-scoring affair here, and you're going to see even more of that, and it's one of the reasons we want to use this as an opportunity to teach. You know, especially with these kids, there's still so much time left in their growth and development that it's not a situation where we want to rush them, we want to speed up the process, we want to give them every opportunity. And then in the second half, we'll take the handcuffs off, so to speak, and allow them to play with a little more transition and be able to carry over what we've done in the first half, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, because you've got to be able to make plays in the half-court setting.
That's a great play. Speaking of making a play, Daly Sullivan getting right there to the hole, and they've been able to make the nice kick for the knockdown jumper. 195, Grace Canelo out of North Carolina. Have enjoyed watching her play with Carolina Express.
Yeah, and, you know, Grace actually been to a number of our camps, both in Super 64, you know, had a great summer showing.
I really enjoyed watching Collier. I talk about her making that play. Great defense there on Thomas's end. But Collier right there wearing number 31 in black has been a young lady that I've actually had a chance to watch grow up. Reminds me a lot of former Webb School point guard Jessica Goswich. Ironically enough, Collier's mom, Shelly, is the head coach there at Webb School in Knoxville. And that's a kid that we expect to do really big things over the course of her career, Chris.
You know, this is an interesting matchup right here with Sullivan and Caldwell. You know, when you get to see two players, especially at this point, you wouldn't say they're still young because, you know, we've been seeing them for 2 or 3 years coming to events. But still young in terms of their class in high school and their recruitment. They're definitely players to watch throughout the country over the next couple of years.
Well, and then you've got, you know, I'm watching Alexis Johnson down there on the baseline, 185, down there defending, came all the way from Texas to be a part of this. So a real plethora of kids in terms of where they range from on the map, from Texas to Indiana. We've got a couple kids in the older session from British Columbia. So it's been a great turnout, and you can see why, the opportunity to play in front of these schools. And then, like I said, not only the showcase atmosphere, but the instruction. You're seeing everybody get touches, you know, whether it be Grace there on the block or whether it's Daly on the ball. Everybody's getting opportunities and looks to do things with their game.
You know, what I like about Caldwell, she's got a kind of a lot of that same flavor as her sister does, kind of the shake and the hesitation. You know, for those of you watching out there, kind of knew her sister was at UCLA.
Yep, Mercedes Caldwell was top 10 in the country by ProspectsNation.com. Hopefully we nailed that one on the head. I've heard she had a great summer. Everybody involved with the UCLA staff, as we see a great move there from Sullivan.
Yeah, we dropped that commitment on ProspectsNation.com the night when she committed. You know, a big time story, followed up also with the eval. Nice take there by Mary Triplett. You know, didn't go in. I've actually liked how Mary's game has advanced here since her feature player eval.
I was just about to say, right on the heels there, talking about Caldwell's eval. Had the opportunity to do an eval there on Triplett from Harpeth Hall, and her play during last club season with Lady Zoom AAG basketball, as well as their play during a high school season. Just a steady option. Next shots had 17 during a game, then lead 32 in Augusta. 5 threes. I mean, well, as you see, a great move there by Caldwell. Everything but the finish, but absolutely love the hesitation there. And those are two young guards, speaking of Triplett and Caldwell, we'll keep an eye on over the upcoming years. Oh, nice. Way to read that, too. That's such unselfish basketball. Most kids, especially at this age, see that play Triplett and try to force it over the defender. Well, what does she do? She kicks it to the open Sullivan, then has the closeout, shows the shot fake, and then attacks it, puts it on the deck for the floater.
Yeah, that's definitely something in advancement of her game. That was a play she wasn't going to make a year ago. And then that finish there, Sullivan.
No question.
We actually had a chance to see her brother come down to our boys EBA All-American camp. Had a great showing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Green and Sullivan really like his game and his energy. Funny, very different player than Daly is, but in terms of the production, very similar production. Really like what Green brought to the table. It's been great to get some of that crossover here during the 2014 calendar year, as we've added those boys camps into the mix now, being able to watch some of the best young men around the country and also some of the best young women. Been great.
And then we're always able to, for that, you know, people follow up. And his sister, even though she wasn't here when he was at camp here, she was still able to watch it on P-State TV, powered by SUV TV.
Marcus and his staff do a great job, man. One of the reasons that they've been a part of our team now for multiple years, they do a great job of helping us cover and tell the stories of prospects nationwide as they come up. Love Savannah Owens. Great pass there, Grace. That's about as close to a transition bucket as we'll get here in the first half. Good push, though. You got to reward that. Now you're going to see that half-court set again, and you're seeing the carryover from what we were doing in the camp offense right now, as we've got the white team with an early lead here as Caldwell attacks.
We're actually about to be joined back now by Marcus Burnett at SUV TV is the lead in what we do here with the broadcast system. Is Brandon's going to look to step off and then look to step on the sidelines. He's got Daly Sullivan there handling the ball.
Nice to see Sullivan back here at EBA camp. I had a very productive trip her last time at Sewanee, as you guys have touched on. But just one example of the bevy of talent that you've got here on hand, as we have a couple more substitutions back into the game. Number 119, one of them, that's Ashley Williamson. Also back into the game, number 115, Mary Triplett. You guys have touched on earlier as well. So 9-7 ball game here. Early on, it's a camp game, so the score not as important as competing and getting better, but the score can often be an indirect indicator of that. As that shot's off the mark, it'll be brought up slowly.
Yeah, in terms of the score, I mean, it's the opportunity to, at this point, play in front of these coaches on this baseline. When you have a number of high major institutions that are here watching you play, I mean, it's your opportunity. It's those things. They get to go home, get some, excited for that high school season. As we have another great finish there by Grace Canella, number 195, out of North Carolina.
North Carolina, that's a state that the last EBA camp here we had, I believe, was the Super 64. North Carolina definitely represented well in that one. Here we have the nice move inside. That's number 185, Alexis Johnson, representing for the Lone Star State. They're on that bucket.
Yeah, definitely in 2017, who's showing her ability to both finish around the rim. I've seen a couple plays here on the defensive end. You see right there, as we kind of said it, she slides over, gets in front, even though they drop it off, her ability to slide over, take up space on that drive. And that's what you want your interior players to be able to do.
That was number 111, Savannah Owens, on that last bucket. Owens out of Bartlett, Tennessee. Johnson gets that one to go off the window. Back-to-back buckets.
Back-to-back buckets. As you look on that baseline, a number of coaches are now flipping through that packet, making sure they're making note of her.
Ball up top. They get it over to Owens. Looking to feed the post. Has that ball temporarily knocked away. Gonna have a foul there. Oh, correction, no foul. Looks like, I guess, it stepped out of bounds, so the ball will go back over to team 2.
We have Daly Sullivan just checked back in for Grace Canella there in the white. It's number 116.
Mid-range J, too strong. Johnson chases that one down. It'll be another opportunity here for team 2. Johnson calling for it in the post.
I like that Johnson saw she had Daly Sullivan on her, and it's no slight on Daly, but with Johnson, that should be a mismatch, and she immediately went inside to the block.
Recognition there. Tray ball on the way, no good. Johnson eating glass. She's got a teammate doing it with her. It's number 181, that's Keegan Sullivan.
Yeah, that's Keegan Sullivan out of Indiana.
Three-pointer too strong. Shot off the mark there by the southpaw. That was triplet. It's number 32, Desiree Caldwell, comes back into the game for team 2. They're in the black jerseys, as well as number 122, Raven Payton, out of Harvey, Louisiana. Be a foul there on the floor. Score is actually 13-13 now. About 3 minutes left to play here in the first half.
Yeah, I definitely think it'll open up a little bit more in the second half and get a chance to let them actually get out and play in transition. I think that'll be big for Caldwell, as both as Sullivan and the rest of these guards.
Here's Tamez, shifty. Floater game right there on that bucket.
Nice, yeah, she was definitely using that kind of hesitation in and out dribble while she was attacking up the floor. She's also a camp veteran.
Caldwell looking inside. That pass intended, number 31, Casey Collier. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with team 2. 2-point ball game in favor of team 1. They get it in to Caldwell. Here's Williamson. Nice defense being played by Sullivan. Caldwell gonna try the three-pointer. Off the mark. A long rebound is in the hands of Tamez. Tamez gets it inside. Owens looking to do the rest. Gets the kind bounce.
Yeah, definitely, nice job turning in over her right shoulder towards the middle of the paint. Good post entry. That's a good, guard and post play right there. That's good basketball.
Savannah Owens getting that bucket inside, but she's had to guard the perimeter. Not an easy task, as she's had Desiree Caldwell here on the defensive end, doing a decent job thus far. 4-point advantage for Team 1. Good defense, but not without a foul being called. I believe it's going to go against number 195, Grace Canella. Canella bringing a nice amount of length and wingspan here to the EBA All-American camp. It's going to send number 119 to the free throw line. It's Williamson. Williamson cashes in on the 1-for-2 free throw here in the camp setting. We're under the minute mark. Sullivan, nice little move, layup drill with the left. Daly Sullivan, Hoosier State representative here. Caldwell off the mark on the jumper. Temez has it.
Nice pitch ahead.
Your thought on Canella there? You know, it was a nice pitch ahead there by Temez. Canella, good vision there. She was looking for the bounce pass to her teammate.
Yeah, you know, you like that unselfish play. If you're a coach and you're a college coach seeing her look to make that play, you're not upset with that. You know, that was the one-ahead pass. I mean, that's good basketball.
Yeah. So that's going to send us to halftime. I'm Marcus Burnett, joined by Chris Watkins. When we get back, we'll bring you the second half of Camp Game 1 here from the EBA All-American Camp. Welcome back here to Sewanee Sports Academy here just north of Atlanta. EBA All-American Camp. Marcus Burnett joined by Chris Watkins. We're ready to get second half action underway. Chris, for anybody that's just joining us, point out some of the players they'll want to keep an eye on here as this second half gets underway.
Yeah, definitely Grace Canella, number 195 in whiteout, North Carolina, had a great first half. Obviously, you know, Caldwell, that's number 32 in black. And only, you know, and look for Daly Sullivan, who's actually 116 in white. You know, right there, that's Grace on cue. She gets the deflection off the ball screen.
Three ball on the way. The three ball hasn't been too kind to either side so far here early on. I think part of that is they're just getting loose. I definitely see that area opening up more here in the second half.
Yeah, that right there, that was actually Jordan Pinson, who's 2018 out of Texas. Actually saw her shooting in the drill setting, shot the ball very well. So you're not upset with that pull up there in transition.
Caldwell, she hasn't been shy about the jumper, gets that one to go. Desiree Caldwell with the tray ball. Nice drive along the baseline by Owens, is off the mark. This Owens versus Caldwell has been a fun matchup to watch as we see Owens get the steal. Kick it out to Triplett. Southpaw with the tray ball.
Yeah, that's Mary Triplett right there, number 115. Her and her father, big sport is what we do. I mean, and she's continued to improve. She takes what we discussed. You see her right here, her defensive ability and that effort. You know, what we talked about, she needs to improve, and she's definitely been working on it. You see that there today.
Strong move inside. They're going to call, I think they're going to say it was a little too strong. They're going to call the foul against number 185 there, Johnson. Traveling going to go against Owens, but you know, back to Caldwell. You looked at that three-pointer that she was able to knock down. Caldwell, number 32, in the black jerseys there for Team 2. You look at that tray ball she was able to knock down, Chris. When you look at the floater, her shiftiness and the wiggle she's been able to show. If she's knocking down that jump shot, very tough assignment for any defender.
Yeah, I mean, and her ability is that jump shot and her strength continues to improve. She's almost going to be, it's like her sister. It's really hard to guard her because she's such a good passer, and she gets in the lane, off the dribble, you know, and that shot makes you have to come out and respect and guard her. And second you step out, she has all that shiftiness. She's going to get in the lane and make a play. Almost like a Steve Nash type in terms of the hesitation, stop and go, and keeps dribbling, and it just makes it a tough guard.
Those of you that might just be joining us, her older sister, Rasay Caldwell, also there out of San Antonio, playing college ball at UCLA right now. One of the better point guards to come through the Peach State basketball circuit.
Yeah, actually had some great matchups with her. They do a great job with the San Antonio's finest, you know, AAU program there out of Texas. We always get them in our summer sessions.
Always nice seeing the different programs and coaches that we have a part of this circuit. Ray Caldwell, one of the best down there. When you look at this program, loves to come 3-4 teams deep to PSB events. Program doing things the right way. Right way on the inside there, number 195. Again, it's Grace Canella.
Yeah, she's having a coming out party today. That's probably about her 12th, 14th point.
Caldwell off the mark on the jumper.
Nice rebound there by Jordan Pinson, number 40 in white.
Canella off the mark on the jump shot there. Now it's in the hands of Caldwell. Caldwell, that pass a little too tall for number 31, Collier. That pass out looked a little bit like my fantasy football season up to this point, Chris. My quarterbacks have been off the mark. That pass a little bit too tall for its intended target. Nice thing about basketball is that it goes back to the next possession quickly, very up and down. So we've had a good pace so far. Here's Tamez giving plenty of room. Tries to part the Red Sea, but defenders in the way. Canella takes it in and one. So we've seen multiple things from Canella. We've seen her rebound, finish inside there. We see her get the ball at about 20 feet out, put it on the deck, eat the contact, and get the three-point play the hard way.
Yeah, she's shown a ton of improvement since the last time we had her in camp, actually this summer in June. Super 64 right there, comes over the top. You know, oh, goodness.
That cross-court pass broken up temporarily, but Team 1 retains possession.
Nice thought there by Pinson, trying to get in the lane and shift it over to Canella.
Brooke McCurdy with it, gonna kick it out. Deep three-pointer. Took it with confidence. You can see why with the end result. Ashley Williamson out of Elgin, South Carolina. So a Palmetto State representative here at EBA as well. Triplett too strong on the baby jumper. Here comes Williamson. Kicks it over to McCurdy. McCurdy turning the corner. She's going to be stripped by Sullivan in the hands of Temez. Good defense there. Sullivan versus Sullivan. There on that particular play. Keegan getting the best of it. Pass dropped off. Easy finish there inside for Williamson. Williamson showing some good energy out there. Knocked down the tray for their last score. There, her activity leads to a deuce. And she comes away, knocks the ball from Sullivan.
Okay, now that's back-to-back threes. 2 out of the last 3 possessions down the floor by Ashley Williamson, number 119 in black, actually out of Elgin, South Carolina, 2018.
Williamson says, I did not make that trip up 20, not to perform. She's doing that thus far.
You wanted to shoot that first one and space out the 3, hit that heat check 3. It still works out well. With Keegan Sullivan, actually, number 181 in black with the finish at the rim.
Just over 8 minutes left to play here in the second half. Daly Sullivan, they've done a good job on her defensively this game. Baseline drive and the finish. Casey Collier out of Knoxville, Tennessee. We have some more substitutions. Nice bucket there by Collier as we see Coach Clyde Pritchett over there manning the sidelines for Team 2. It's a 27-30 ball game. Just over 7 minutes left to play. Temez slicing through, tries to save it. Gonna be last touch by Caldwell, so it'll stick with Team 1.
Yeah, I really like Temez's aggressiveness tonight. That's a great and one there by number 40. We mentioned her earlier, Jordan Henson, 2018 out of Texas.
But back to another Texas representative, Temez, as you mentioned, she's number 37 there in the white jersey. She has been aggressive and kind of helped set the tone here in this game. Henson with the crossover, kicks it. Canella off the mark on the shot, but
you know, all it takes in this type of setting, you step out young, a little bit of nervousness, and you see Pinson got that and one. She came aggressive next time down the floor.
Triplet guarded by Caldwell. They try to force it inside to Canella. It's going to be tied up by Sullivan. Number 181 there in the black jersey. Sullivan's done a good job defensively, along with Alexis Johnson, who you see there, number 185 out of Texas. Those two converging on a player with the ball. It's going to result in a good outcome for the defense more times than not. 30-30 ball game here. Caldwell guarded by Daly Sullivan. They try to go inside to Johnson. Johnson loses it for a second. That's all it takes for Canella to pick it up.
You know, what would be great about Canella, she'll be able to take this game film as well as she's played, with it being broadcast. And now you can send that up as we see another pull-up there by Daly Sullivan. Who's getting loose here this last 5 minutes and see if she can really get going.
Yeah, Sullivan, one of those players, hasn't hit as many shots as she liked this game. Part of that has been good defense, also the degree of difficulty on some of those, but still those are shots she's capable of hitting. And she's one of those players, doesn't matter how much she's missed up to that point. You can never really rest on your laurels when it comes to playing against her. Nice bucket there on the other end for Team 2. I believe that was Sullivan, Keegan Sullivan, on that bucket for Team 2. Bank still open here at 8:16 p.m. on a Saturday. 32-32. 4 minutes, 33 seconds and counting left to play here in the second half. One of 4 webcasts that we'll have for you here tonight, as well as 4 more that'll kick off day 2 tomorrow. That jump shot along the baseline just short there by Collier. Pinson. Ooh. Good pass by Sullivan. Unable to finish there was Canella. Nice look inside there. Sullivan cuts off the baseline. Now it's up top. Ball's on the deck. Gonna have a jump ball. And that possession arrow is going to send it over to team 1. So we're square at 32. Just over 3 minutes left to play. Both teams getting their substitutions right. When you talk about this kind of camp setting and being able to compete, not only that, being able to do it in front of a back row of coaches, you want to be able to win these games. I think that's reflected in the energy of the coaching staff on down to the players. It's a high kiss off the window, the finish by Jordan Pinson.
Yeah, she's having a big second half here.
Caldwell hesitates, turns the corner. Tray ball on the way. Just in and out there for Brooke McCurdy.
You know, from a point guard perspective, you like it. She could have possibly got to the rim. But that's the wise play. Get in there and kick it out for that wide open 3.
Good looking stroke from the outside. It's a big bucket there by Savannah Owens, making it a 4-point advantage here. Just over 2 minutes left to play.
I've noticed that Brandon Clay is now coaching both teams and has slid over here. He's also now coaching the black team. We always talked about the boys All-American camp. He's going to get the W either way.
Exactly. That's what you call a true win-win situation right there. Here we got a trip to the free throw line for number 30. That's McCurdy out of Cleveland, Tennessee. Volunteer State represented well. So we see Brandon Clay trying to make sure one of these teams gets a win, which is a guaranteed result, but I think that also says a lot about, the goals of the camp. Even when you look at the instruction that takes place even before the camp games, the specific skills and drills led by Adrian Penland and Christian Simmons of We Work Hoops. It's all about making sure the players are better when they leave here than when they came.
Yeah, and if you're definitely interested in a lot of the drills or, things that you can do, you can check out both Adrian Penland Basketball or We Work Hoops on Twitter and on Instagram, and they do a really good job. They post a lot of the drills we use here in camp, so you can take that stuff with you and look to improve your game outside of a camp setting.
A lot of resources, and when you look at the camp offense, that is often put in place by Coach J.L. Hemingway, who's in Tennessee at the PSB end of the road up there. We'll have 6 webcasts from there on Sunday, but you can even go to CoachHemi.com to check out a lot of the offenses that are used here in camp, but also by a lot of coaches across the country, including Scott Johnson of West Virginia Thunder, who's here in Atlanta with us this weekend.
Yeah, and you see Mary Triplett actually hit that 3 last time down the floor. She came here to play today.
7-point advantage here for Team 1 in the white jerseys. Sullivan still has it up top. And that will do it. Your final score, 41-34 here at Camp Game 1 at the EBA All-American Camp. I'm Marcus Burnett. He's Chris Watkins. We'll catch you back here for the next 3 broadcasts.